How y'all doing?
How you doing? Pleasure to meet you. How you doing? Okay, how you doing? Yeah, how you doing? Okay.
Think I'm Frank. How you doing?
Okay.
How you doing, lady? You got your shade on. You ready? I just put them in. Hi. How you doing, Frank?
Okay.
Okay, everybody, let's give ourselves a hand for being here. Welcome.
Faster than that. Frank.
This is the 22nd Street and Madison crew here. We all grew up over most of us about 60 years old plus.
I'm proud.
Plus.
I'm proud. You proud too.
But anyway, we're here basically for the weekend.
94.
We're gonna get to that, Miss Hudson.
All right.
We're here basically to celebrate Roosevelt class reunion, all the classes. We got people here from California. We have people from Atlanta, Georgia,
from Emerson
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Atlanta, Georgia.
All from the same city though.
But we grew up on this street here. You see all the houses that are not there? This is where we grew up. And
let them know our house is still there. They would have got us to weather the storm.
Yeah, we
And-
stay down there.
and here's Frank Reese. I haven't seen Frank Reese in over 50 years. He's still standing. What's up, Frank?
All right.
Okay, it's been about 40 though.
Yeah, Frank.
All right.
But like I said, we're here. This is 22nd and Madison.
All right, family down here.
Side of
You the one?
Hey, mama. Are you recording?
Short, yeah. Oldest one older than
I got. I seen this here too. I went yesterday.
I'm doing okay.
Oh, I don't know about tonight. You come out here and make a videotape now.
Yeah.
All right, also we're here because I don't know if you know this is a national historical neighborhood. And why is it national? Because of me. No, because of Michael and the Jacksons. And we're honored to have one of the Jacksons' relatives here. Introduce yourself, sir.
I'm Ron Jackson. I'm Michael Jackson's first cousin. My dad and Mike's dad are brothers.
Oh, good.
Right, and I grew up with them down there on 2300, but I was a little 5-year-old guy. Then I left and went to California and did that Hollywood stuff, and then came back here and been back here. Yeah.
All right, we want to honor and respect and give praise to God for Miss Hudson. She's the oldest living neighbor here. She's what, 94? Praise the Lord. Everybody clap. Now, I moved here in 1960. My grandmother's house was right there, and she brought the house across the street from us in 1960. And Miss Hudson was here with Miss McComb.
Right, my mother.
Your mother,
Annabelle
Miss,
McComb.
and your father was?
Jethro McComb. When they came in, this house was on the ground. Didn't have no water, no electric, no gas, down on the ground. All this was dirt and weeds up and down. Trees. And my daddy told my mother cried. She didn't want. He said, I'm gonna work, I'm gonna build. He put the basement under there, water, toilet.
I remember when they jacked it up though.
Jacked it up.
Show you how old I am.
So Miss
Good to
Hudson,
be able to tell the story. That's the thing. Somebody
what
can give history lesson.
what good memories do you have about the 22 and Madison?
Well,
Some
your
of the people.
mother and your grandmother,
Yeah.
they were two beautiful, well-respected women, although your mother was a little handicapped for many years, but she was a believing in God woman. She believed in the Lord. And I would go over there every day, and I would take her food, I would pray, and take members of my prayer band over there. We would pray with her. And this grandmother were beautiful, beautiful people.
Thank
in
you.
this neighborhood.
Miss Charlene, what do you have to say?
Nothing. Well, let's see. I grew up on 22nd and Madison, went from 2231 to 2285 Madison Street, then around the corner to 430 West 23rd Avenue, and I graduated from Roosevelt High School in 1975. A lot of good memories though, back in the days, a lot of good memories. Yeah.
All right, Brother Frank Reese.
My name is Franklin Reese, and I have lived in Gary most of my life. I've lived at 2225 Madison Street. I stayed out in Miller, Indiana. I went to Roosevelt. I was on the class of 69 drill team for the Expedition of the Arts. We were the best in Indiana and the state of Illinois. We brought more trophies back to Roosevelt and the ROTC for the history of the school. Yeah, my brother Jesse Reese had written the flip side of Big Boy for the Jackson 5.
What was Big Boy?
I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy.
Big Boy was the record
That was the first record.
they wrote, and the flip side of it was a record called You Changed, written by Jesse Reese, my brother. And I was so happy. I'd never seen so much money flowing in the house. You know? But that was a good thing. You talk about good things. And you know, that's the family house right there. And you can see it's been rebuilt if you ever can remember how it used to look.
You still look the same.
Yeah.
You still look the same.
The siding.
Yeah.
The siding
yeah,
changed. He said it been rebuilt.
After the fire.
Oh, okay. Now, your mother still living, right?
Yeah, she's in Golden Living Nursing Home out behind South Lake Methodist Hospital.
And how old is your mother?
She's 90.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
Danette?
All right, Daddy, come on over here, Daddy.
Yeah.
She gotta speak for me.
Okay, this is my sister. I grew up in Gary, Indiana, 2216 Madison. And I graduated from Roosevelt with Mr. Nichols, 1974. Now I live in Georgia. I've been in Georgia a long time.
About 30 years, because I've been there 28.
Yeah, and this is my hometown. That Richard say his hometown. It's our hometown.
Yeah.
But I love everybody. And I'm here for the alumni. Every year.
Well, I enjoyed, we all came over here, I think it was like in the 60s, about 61, something like that, because I went to Garnett in first grade. So we came from 1634 Monroe Street over there by Fravel. We got a brother, our brothers was Al Frazier DeWitt and Watson Merle and Lewis Robbins, which we call Bobby, and then Danette, and then myself, Dottie. And like she said, we grew up down there. We had big fun running up and down the street doing some things we didn't have no business doing, but we all lived and we learned. Yeah, and we enjoy I mean, you can appreciate it. If you can appreciate where you came from, then you know where you're going. And then with the foundation with what our parents gave us, stern, unlike the kids today, that you know, we knew how to navigate to things.
And your mother?
So I end up, my mom, Lula Mae Robbins, she was the school crossing guard right there on Madison when you come out of Garnett to go to Miller's grocery store. That was right there. 20. Yeah, that's 22nd too.
22nd.
And your
Yeah, that's
father?
22nd. Yeah. Then our dad, Lewis Robbins, he was a welder in East Chicago. Yeah. So we had a lot of fun and grew up with, let me see, Gloria Polk and them stayed across the street. Annie Bell Moore and them stayed across the street. I remember the apples.
Apple Whites.
Apple Whites, yeah. Look, Penny, King Solomon.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy
I got a one from him.
Frank, Scott,
Mosey Wilson,
Scott,
all of them.
yeah, Scott, and everybody. It's just everybody. That house right there. Then Linda.
That's the Walker,
Then Linda
right?
used to
Linda
stay-
Edwards.
Linda Edwards. Them used to
Victor
stay-
Edwards,
yeah,
Victor
Linda
Edwards.
Linda Edwards. Them used to stay in that house.
I think Linda moved to Detroit or Michigan somewhere.
Yeah. So yeah.
Unless she just moved.
So yeah, I left there, and once I got to Georgia in '88,
end up getting into law enforcement. It's a funny thing how all of us grew up on the street doing the things that we did, but it was a lesson that taught us to get through life by surviving. And I end up, like everybody end up, that we grew up end up in some type of helpful field, if you observe that.
Right.
We all got into the field of helping someone because that's what we were. We helped, we were helped by our parents and the friends and our loved ones. So I'm just thankful for that. Anyway, I got into law enforcement in Atlanta about 20 years, deputy sheriff. Yeah, so. And other than that, no, I knew what I wanted to be.
Okay.
I knew what I wanted to be. Yeah. Other people got into nursing and stuff like that. That was not my calling, but I love people. And I ended up caring for my husband about 3 years. He was sick, but nursing was not my calling, but law enforcement was to enforce, to try to make right the wrong, what was going on. Because I remember when the area Indiana, the officers used to come on 22nd and Madison right there at that store, and all the guys that was hanging out right there, they would line them up, they would profile status, they would just harass them and stuff like that. So my thing was I wanted to make a difference in that.
Very good, Dottie. Okay, Brother Sam.
Hey, my memory of this community is, it reminds me when they say it takes a village to raise a child. This community exemplified that. I remember Miss Hudson, her and my grandmother, Miss Goldberg, were very close. And so I have a lot of vivid memories of this community. One of which I always tell him, when I was about 7 years old, about 2 o'clock, my grandparents used to come out about 2 in the morning and just drink coffee, sit on the. But I remember we got a call. Your mom got a call that your brother had died in Vietnam. And I could remember the whole neighborhood came out early in the morning and was crying and everybody was hugging one another. And that kind of stuck real close in my mind about our community.
Right.
I could even remember Betty Holly. Betty Holly, who stayed right there, would come get me and Herschel and Sandra Griffin and teach us how to play volleyball. It was like, I'm taking you from your immediate family and I'm your family now. And this is what Miss Hudson, Betty Holly, the Nichols, the Pages, I mean, that, and the LeBroys. I mean, I could remember even Cheryl. They would go walk from Jefferson to their house, to their grandmother's house. I mean, it was just back and forth. They had 2 houses in the community. And of course, I went to school with Michael Jackson. We all the same age. Me, Michael, your brother Robert, all of us was the same age in school. And so I have a lot of vivid memories of this community, and I gotta tell you one more. Right here on this corner right here, there was a little disagreement with Rodney Carter and Jermaine Jackson. I always tell this story. I hope Cheryl don't get offended, but it's a vivid memory that I have that Jermaine Jackson, if you ever look at the sky above his eye, I was there when Rodney Carter put it on there. He hit him with a bottle. I think it was over a girl, but I remember Joe Jackson coming to this corner with a little 22, looking for who did that. And I was a very little kid. I stayed right across the street. And so I remember that. I remember the Roosevelt band. We used to come down 23rd Avenue. They would practice. I remember the music that would play at Midtown Little League, right behind the Jackson's home. Sweet Skeeter Clark would be on the mic. And so it was a wonderful community. I wouldn't take it for the world.
I'm telling you.
These wonderful people that impacted my life. The Hollies, the Nichols, the Griffins, the LeBroys, the Pages, Miss Berry. I remember Miss Berry. I can go on and on, but I'm gonna shut it up. I wouldn't have it any other way, and I thank God that I was born on 23rd, 317 West 23rd Avenue.
All right. Now this is my brother. He's not my twin.
Y'all look alike.
Okay, I remember I was born right here at 2290 Madison. My great-grandfather had built the house, and he stayed in the basement. We stayed on the top floor. He had another apartment in the middle. And back here was our alley. Like I said, that was 1950 when I was born. But I started playing alley when I was 2 and 3 years old. This was our alley. We had old cars, and her daughter Janice, we would play cops and robbers and Mickey in the back here. And she was talking about back here about the house being there. I remember when they raised the house and put the basement in there as a little kid, you know. So like I said, it's a lot of memories here. So in 53, we moved to Delaney Projects. 61, we moved across the street over here to 2281 Madison. So that's the house I grew in. But for a long time, I always stayed in both houses.
That's good. And you have memories, good brother?
Oh, yeah, most of my memories, like I say, I started out, I was born in 1960. Me and Mike and the family, we used to watch all the competition, and everything used to come to the house, and they used to practice, and people used to surround around the house when I was like 5, 6 years old. And then wasn't too long after that, about 65, 66, the big boy came out, and like he say, a lot of things started to happen, but I was really young. I didn't, 5, 6 years old, I'm just chasing candy. It's a candy store around here down the street. We used to always go to it, me and Mike get candy and that kind of
Right next door to our house.
Is that the candy store?
Well, I think he's talking about.
Camel friendship.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about what's his name? Long's candy.
The Longs had a candy house.
What's his name? Charlie.
That was 22nd place.
22nd place. But we had Miss Omega owned the store first, and then Art took over.
Cupcake lady was around the
We
corner.
get 3 pieces of candy for a penny back.
Yeah.
We were little, and then after that, like I say, that Hollywood, Motown, and went to California, and I grew up out there, out west. And when I came back here, I was like 16, 17 years old. Most of my life was out west. So when I came back here,
So you played in the band with them?
No, I just traveled around with them and all that kind of stuff. And we used to do a lot of stuff like we did on tour. And that had a lot of fun, but it was just growing up for a few years in that life. We came
I
back
think
and went to Roosevelt.
Toya was in my class. I think Toya was in our class at Garnett.
I have one other thing to say before we close this video out. I just thought about something. I had to take my glasses off. Because Marlon Jackson, if you see this video, I don't know if you remember me now, but this is Cheryl Jefferson. We was in 6th grade together at Garnett School, and you made me get a whooping. Miss Vincent was our teacher, and Miss Vincent had that mean swing. And I was playing with you, and I hit you, and you told her. And Miss Vincent would make us lay down across that chair and tear our butt up. So I just want to let you know that you caused me to get a whooping. I'll never forget that.